Today we're looking at math lesson 18.2, make a picture graph. Yesterday we read picture graphs. Today we're going to make them. I can draw a scaled picture graph to solve how many more and how many less problems. Spark your learning. Victor makes a table at the right. He uses it to record the types of projects that the third grade classes would like to do for community service. So his table is over here on this clipboard. Which type of community service would you do? Would you pull weeds? That got 15 votes from his class. Rake leaves? That got 18 votes. Wash cars? Got 12 votes. And clean up? Got 21. So the first thing we're going to do is make a graph to represent the data given here. So we're going to draw a rectangle. And in that rectangle, we're going to make a place for our title. And then we are going to divide our rectangle so that we have a column for the jobs and a column to put our pictures into. And we have, let's try that again because we need a box at the bottom. So let's make our box at the bottom for our scale or our key. Then we'll divide the remaining space. And we had 4 categories. So I'm going to divide this in half with a line, or what is close to half. And I'm going to divide each of those halves in half. And then I'm going to go ahead and put in my title and community service projects. That's what we're going to call it. And then we're going to go down here and we're going to type in our categories. And the first one listed on our tally chart is pull weeds. I'll center that in my thing a little better. And then rake leaves. Then we have wash cars and clean, I'm just a more generic one, clean up. Okay, and then we have the key. And we need to decide what symbol we're going to use. And so each, whatever symbol we put in there, equals. And let's look at these numbers. What I notice is they're all divisible by 3. So I'm going to make my symbols equal 3. And we can go from there. Symbol, let's see what we can find. Maybe we can just do circles. So each circle is going to equal 3. So if we look at pull weeds up here in our chart, there are 15. So if we count by 3s, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, we get to 5. So we need 5 circles in here. 1, 2, try to make them about the same size. 3, 4, and 5. Then rake leaves with 18. Well, if 5 was 15, 3 more would be 18. So in this one, we need 6 circles. Hope I didn't make my circles too big. Whoops. I'll try that one again. There are 6. I'm going to try and erase that one inside there. And a car wash. Well, if 15 were 5, then 3 less than that would be 12. So we can put 12. We can put 4 in here because 4 times 3 is 12. Okay, and then in 21, well, 18 was 6, so 3 more would be 21. So we have to get 7 circles in here. And 7. So there is our graph. Each circle stands for 3. And let's go ahead and go to the next page. Build your understanding. Mr. Halm counts and records in a table the number of tools he uses or he has. About how can you tell what a picture graph is about? Where do we look for the picture graph? Well, as we discussed yesterday, we can look in the title. So we're going to put school supply here. And we can also look, whoops, I typed the wrong thing there. We're going to look at the title. And we can look at the categories. Described what the title and categories, let's make a new text box. Describe what the graph is about. It's not capitalized describe because we're all in one sentence. How many should one symbol represent? Choose a number greater than 1. When I look at this, I want to look for something that will divide evenly into each of those numbers. So when I look at these numbers, I realize that they are all divisible by 4. So each of my symbols is going to be 4. How many symbols would you draw for each tool? So we have to look how many 4s are in 8. So screwdrivers, we would have to draw 2 symbols. For wrenches, how many 4s in 12? We would need to draw 3 symbols. And for bolts, we would need how many 4s in 24? 6 symbols. And then for the nuts, how many 4s? In 18? Well, there would be 4, that would be 16. And then we would need another half of a symbol. So now it says to make a picture graph. Well, up at the top of our clipboard, we already have our title. And we already know that our key is going to be 4 tools for each book. So tool supplies. And the first category is screwdrivers. And the second category is wrenches. The third category is bolt. And the last category is nuts. Okay, I'm going to go back and make my W capital so my thing looks good. And we discuss that we're going to put 4. Okay. Now I think I'm going to get this a square, and I'm going to use that. Looks a little bit like a toolbox. And in screwdrivers, I know there are 2. Oops, the square. I know there are 2 4s. So let's make 2 squares there. You can't make them too big, or when we get down to one of our other tools, we won't have enough. And I know that there are 3 4s in 12. Remember, I'm getting this from the tool supply list on the clipboard, or at the top. Bolts are 24, and 24 divided by 4 is 6. So I have to have 6 squares or rectangles. This is why I said you needed to be careful and not make them too big. Mine aren't quite going to fit, but you can make yours fit. And then the nuts are 18, and we said we needed 4.5 in that one. So let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll do 1/2 of 1. Make it a little longer. Okay, let's go on over to the step it out. These graphs take a long time. It says use the table to record data for the number of each item in your classroom. How many bins do you have? Well, let's count our little bins where we keep our crayons and stuff. So we have 3, 6, 9. We have 10 bins. Got to go back to a text box. 10 bins. We have 2 closets, the one you guys keep your stuff in and the one that I have mine in. We have 17 desks counting mine. Posters, let's count, I'll count those. We have about 17 posters also. And then shelves. Well, shelves I can see, 1, 2, 3. We have 4 sets of shelves. That's what we'll use. Okay. Do you think you will need to use 1/2 of a symbol? Well, I have some odd numbers here, so I think that I might. And what might be a good number to use? Well, we could do 2, or we could make each symbol do 4. So our title is going to be Classroom Items. And we capitalize each title. Then we're going to do bins. We're going to do closets. We're going to do desk. We're going to do posters. And we're going to do shelves. I see we're running a little short on time, so I'm going to go ahead and finish this graph, and you can do yours and then come back and look at it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and go over this graph real quick. In my bins, I had to add 1/2 because 10, 2 squares made 8, and then 1/2 of a square. Same thing with the closet. Now on the desk and the posters, I had 17. So 4 times 4 is 16, and then I tried to do like a 4th representing 1.